Well, hello into people, how are you guys doing? And welcome back to another World Autism Awareness Week video. Today we're going to be talking about what is autistic masking and also how might masking influence an autistic person's behaviour and just generally my own thoughts on the topic. But if you're brand new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future autism videos. Autistic masking, also known as camouflaging, is basically when an autistic person will hide their traits or hide the fact that they are on the autism spectrum. And autistic masking is really used and it's most prominent in social situations. So when an autistic person goes into a social situation, they may mask the fact that they are on the spectrum or hide their traits to appear more neurotypical or more normal. And also autistic people mask because of the way society is. You know, when something out of the ordinary happens, we all look at it and start to question it and start to think, oh, why are they doing that? What is wrong with this person? Of course, I'm not saying stimming and other things that autistic people like myself do is wrong. In fact, it is just a normal part of our being. But other people, like people who are not in this community, will tend to judge based on what they can see. It is a human thing to do. So really, to avoid embarrassment, to hide harassment from others, and really to avoid things from escalating or getting worse, people will actually hide their autism from people. So that's autistic masking, but how does it influence an autistic's behaviour? Well, autistics who are masking will go to great lengths to hide their autism, hide traits that other people might think is strange or abnormal or doesn't fit within society's box. So an autistic person might mask in a social situation and they appear to be coping with it reasonably well. In fact, they don't seem to be struggling with anything regarding that social situation, which might seem quite strange because typically social situations for autistic people can be really stressful and autistic people might not do very well in social situations. So really, an autistic might mask in a social situation to be able to cope in that situation. I hope that makes sense. So some examples of masking behaviour are maintaining eye contact. Eye contact is just really uncomfortable. However, an autistic will try to mask the fact that it's uncomfortable by actually maintaining eye contact. Another behaviour that's related to masking is copying other people's behaviour. So like copying someone who's neurotypical, copying the way they act, the way they do things, the way they move in order to fit in within a social situation or whatever it may be, you know, just trying to copy what this person who knows or seems to know what they're doing and applying it to themselves. Another masking behaviour, keeping still. Now, for me personally, I am a person that just fidgets a lot. Like, I can't help it sometimes. And for me, if there's a social situation where I have to be, you know, still for a long period of time, I will actually be still for a long period of time. However, it's not normal for me. So when I get home, I'm just here, there and everywhere, to be honest. Another behaviour is forcing facial expressions. Now, facial expressions are really weird. I'm gonna be frank with it. It's just really weird. I'll talk to someone and I feel really happy inside, but it's not actually coming across on my face. So if an autistic is masking and they're telling like a really happy story about their bunny who flies or something, they're going to be, oh, my bunny flew over the rainbow, you know, just trying to be, you know, happy and smiley or whatever emotion it is, they'll try to convey that on their face. The last behaviour, and this is something we have all done, I believe, cluing up on topics that other people around us are interested in. I see this all of the time, and in fact I've done it myself. You know, people talk to me about football. Now, I used to play football quite a lot. You know, I was a defender in a disability team at one point actually. Now, I couldn't care less about football. It's just not something that interests me, just the whole culture and everything. But in the past, I have actually clued up on football and like things that are happening in football in my local team, like Newcastle United, for example. You know, I've clued up on that stuff. So when people say, oh, did you catch the game last night? And I'll be like, oh no, but I heard that this thing happened and that thing happened. And it just helps with social interaction because that's something else that autistic people struggle with, social interaction and being relatable to other people. So really, cluing up on a topic that you just frankly don't care about is a form of masking. And it's something we all do. It doesn't matter if you're autistic or not. And actually, here's a question for you. What topic or topics have you intentionally learned and clued up on, even though you have no interest in it? I'm really curious, let me know down below, it'd be great to hear from you. Okay, so you know what autistic masking is, and you know how masking behaviours influence autistic people. But what are my thoughts on masking as a whole? It's a draining experience for us as autistic people because we basically are not being ourselves, for one. Also, if you're mimicking behaviours, changing behaviours in order to fit into society's box or a social situation that you are in, it is a lot to take in. It is a physically draining thing as well as a mentally draining thing. Masking tends to be more linked to females, but males can mask also. But also, guys, masking, really, to sum it up for you, is like being an actor or an actress. Like, you are playing a character that is kind of like you, like it looks like you, and you know, you appear to be you, like you're pretending to be something that you just aren't, or you're acting in a way that you just aren't normally. Really, masking, like I say, takes a lot of energy, so if you're constantly masking, you're gonna burn out eventually. And really, when you burn out, some autistic people really struggle to get back on the horse. Like, I mean, I've been through burnout before. But to summarise this whole video, I personally feel that masking in short amounts can be detrimental to someone's well-being. You know, being able to go out into social situations and be sociable and, you know, be a part of society. However, I feel that masking for long periods of time is not okay, and in fact it really does affect an autistic's well-being if they mask for incredibly long periods of time. But what I will say is, if you need to mask, then go ahead and do it, but just remember that you need to look after yourself, and remember to take the time for yourself to be yourself. So really, it is a real double-edged sword. But what are your thoughts on masking? Do you mask, or do you know someone that does? Do you feel it can be a positive experience, like I say, or do you feel that autistic masking in general is not something you should do? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts, guys, down below for me. But for now, guys, if you enjoyed this video or you just got something out of it, make sure you hit the like button for me and subscribe if you're brand new. Stay you, stay indie. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you all very soon.